Friendly Fight Fridays.
Ooh, okay.
Friendly Fight Fridays. We call it Friendly Fight Fridays. It's just
No such thing as a friendly fight.
Hey man, I love you too.
If any of my guys ever said they were going for a friendly fight Friday, I was like, you just realize it's actually a fight, right?
Hey everybody, this is Shawnrick Who, the Round One, and this show is called Round One, where we explore fight sports in Singapore and beyond. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about fight shows, and who better to talk to about fight shows with the fight show promoters themselves. In this episode, joining me at this time, he is the Ring White Collar Boxing Show co-founder, director, and promoter. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dzulfadly.
Yeah. What's your walkout music?
we need to have a walkout music, bro.
And here is my next guest right next to him. He is the CEO of Spartans Boxing Club. Ladies and gentlemen, the very handsome, the gorgeous Russell Harrison.
Wow, right. The crowd goes absolutely wild. Man, that's
for me,
some
those
kind,
miles.
that's some kind of intro.
Hey, no, guys, thank you so much for coming down to the show.
Thanks for having us.
The reason why I want to have the both of you on the show is you both are from two different organizations, but we're all in the same scene, which is boxing, the boxing community in Singapore, in Southeast Asia, in Asia, right? We just it's really nice to see that we're in there with each other, right?
Yeah.
Like I've had the honor and privilege to ring announce and commentate for both of your shows,
Yep.
right? And
an awesome job you did.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Every time.
Thank you. But what I was very elated to see is that when I'm at your show, I see you. When I'm at your show, I see you. We're all showing up for each other, and that's a very nice thing for me to go like, oh damn, that's nice. You know, they're here to show support for the sport.
Yep.
For the both of you, I want you to tell me about your background, how you came into the world of fight promotion. So, anyone want to start off first?
You?
All right, well, I'll go first. Look, as far as fight shows and fight promotions, the way that I started was, in a simple word, reluctantly.
Why? What happened? What happened in the beginning? Somebody told you to just make something happen?
No. So when we started Spartans, so 10 years ago now, we were obviously doing gyms. And there was a lot of events going on around town then. White collar events, amateur events, void deck events.
Yeah.
Right?
For
So,
sure.
you know, there was all this sort of stuff going on. And we were doing gyms, and we thought we're doing gyms, and we're doing gyms pretty well.
Yeah.
And so we didn't start. So we started in 2015. We didn't start doing events until 2021.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it was like six years after.
So it was very gym heavy at first, and then it got
Yeah, correct. And we were really focused on that. And I think probably for us, we came at the events maybe from a slightly different angle. You know, our business is essentially, or where we started was as a single gym operator.
Right.
Just wanted to have a cool boxing gym. And then that expanded, and then we turned it into a franchise. And then we sort of saw ourselves really playing in the boutique fitness space.
Right.
And so the events, and specifically white collar events, was an avenue for us to be able to make sure that we had an events offering underneath our banner. Right. And if you look at top boutique businesses, fitness businesses, not necessarily boxing, could be anything else, there's usually gyms, and then there's sometimes events, and there's usually some sort of education or academy.
Yeah.
But it's quite rare to roll all three under the one roof.
Right.
And so that's how we started doing white collar events. We were like, look, we wanted to have events, gyms, academy, all under one roof.
Right.
And that's kind of the angle that we come from. And that was about participation and members having an experience and all of
You're
that
going to
sort of thing.
provide that experience for them.
We're going to provide that experience.
Yeah.
And so, it wasn't, we just didn't want to go out and do events for the sake of it. And even to this day, we kind of do our white collar shows, which you've very kindly spoken about. These guys definitely paved the way in terms of the grandeur and all that sort of stuff.
If
right?
you don't know, for context, for the Ring White Collar, their venue is at MBS Marquee, excuse me. Marquee. And when I first got in, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah. But
we have video screen envy over there. That screen, I send photos to. I'm like, look at the size of that. Yeah. Look at the size of that's like a sphere.
Okay, so now we got the origin story for Spartans Boxing Club. So I want to know the origin story for you as a fight promoter with the ring.
Okay, for me, it's it started a long time ago.
Okay.
So it started when it was 2013. At that
12
point,
years ago, my man.
Yeah, 2013, where actually helped out the startup, a fight gym startup in Dhoby Ghaut, Orchard. 222, I think, can't remember. The name it was Fight 360.
Right.
And I just came out from retrenchment
Okay.
from Singapore Silat Federation.
I see.
So I was the head coach for Singapore Silat Federation, and I was like the kind of the event organizer down there as well. And at the same time, I like people to fight each other as well. So
Nice.
that's one of the
Nice. We all do.
That's one of the things that I like to do, right? So the thing is that once when I came into this boxing, MMA, Muay Thai culture, suddenly it's a new culture for me because I just came out from this
From
federation.
one fight sport to another fight sport.
Yes, correct. So basically, I don't do boxing at all.
Right.
I don't do Muay Thai at all.
Right,
I don't do any other martial arts.
Mm.
But I do study them. Because for me, it's very important for my martial art in order for me to actually improve in my martial art.
To know what's around
Right,
there.
yeah, correct. So at that time, when this gym just started, 6 months into it, immediately I wanted to do a fight event.
Wow. So you got the feels
Yeah,
just like
because immediately it's like I found out like you need to understand like basically if I ask you what's the actual measurement for you to actually host a sanctioned fight event.
You need to know the rules and regulations.
You need to know the rules and regulations. At that point, I have a ring which is actually a 6x6 ring, which actually could host an event.
Just nice.
And it's
there
a
you
high
go.
ring and everything. So immediately at that time the first time I met I met Ifasha.
Yep.
I met Ifasha, I met Ridwan. At that time, all of them were just nobody.
Right.
Right. So I was like, okay, I just create this event. I let one of my Silat girls fight Ifasha. I let this one fight this. Let's create it. Let's.
So you're
just
just gathering the EXP.
Correct.
Right.
So at the same time is that I'm thinking about how do I get people to come to this gym. You know what I mean? At the same time, because I want the gym to have more members. So the only way is I created the gym, created the event, so people come and see, sell tickets or whatever, sell drinks or whatever, let people have a good time, and then after that, it creates some noise for the gym as well.
Do what you gotta do to market your event.
Correct.
Have your roster ready.
Correct.
And then do the event sweet, get it done nicely, and let the ripple effect happen.
Exactly. So that's my first thought, right? And then it became like, oh shit, I have to do another one. And I got sponsors from this Drive 7. I don't know, that drink that last time from Aaron Aziz.
So then you got some sponsors and all that.
So I got sponsored by this, but then I got like photographs.
I mean, it's a nice problem to have, honestly.
Yeah,
like when you hit that point and
it
people started getting the attention, and like, hey, I don't want to put this thing here.
It is.
Right?
To cut it short, coming back to ring, set up the ring and everything for the ring boxing community. Within 3 months, we set up our first Friendly Fight Fridays.
Ooh, okay.
Friendly Fight Fridays. We call it Friendly Fight Fridays. It's just
No such thing as a friendly fight.
Hey man, I love you too.
If any of my guys ever said they were going for a friendly fight Friday, I was like, you just realize it's actually a fight, right?
And then first it was just only like 12 bouts, and then after that there was only like at that time we were at Kim Yam. Kim Yam was quite a big space. It was about
Great
Yeah,
space.
yeah, yeah.
Great
It was
space.
about
The ceilings all the way up to
exactly
the top.
7,500 square meters.
Damn, that's a
something like
big space.
that. So we could fill in like 500 people.
Right.
But on the first one, 50 people came.
Right.
50 people came. Okay, it's okay. So we do it another time. So it became heavier. It became heavier. It became heavier. Then until that, there is like at least about 300, 400 people in the gym, right? Up to 30 fights a night.
Yeah.
For the
it's crazy.
30 fights a night?
It was crazy. But the best thing about friendly fight Fridays, right? It's not like the current sparring events that you have now, because the current sparring events you have to pay
Oh, to enter.
to fight.
Macam entry fee.
Yeah. So for me, you don't have to.
Right.
You don't have to, because this is a community event for me.
Register your spot.
Yeah, I sell drinks, I sell food, I do massages, I do haircuts and everything.
Speaking, there's a little bit of everything inside there.
I mean, whatever you want to do, right? So the thing is that, like, whenever I actually tell them on this event is that, see, look, you've learned, you've trained every day, 1 hour, 2 hours a day, but where do you actually try to be practical? In your sparring sessions, yes, but this is the platform
Where you put that to the.
where you actually put it to practical, right? What you learn, this is what you're gonna put it out, right? And the best part is that this would prepare them for future fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, with regards to you both having your own white collar shows, right? You've gone through all different iterations of different kinds of fight events and all that. As you go through these events, you're picking up the experience. You're leveling up. You understand this show, I should do it this way. This show, what did I learn? What should I do? What should I not do? Right? So when it comes down to your white collar shows, what are some of the biggest challenges as a fight promoter? Because you're not only just thinking about the fights, you're thinking about the entire event in a whole, right? You have your fights that are happening. You got to think about your drinks. You got to think about production side, venue side, lighting, electrics, power. What do you call that? Licenses. Licensing is a big. This is Singapore. Let's be real, okay? Okay, everything, and the mother needs a bloody license. Okay,
Yeah.
So, right, and that's.
But it's not just Singapore though. That's everywhere, man. Like, honestly, the good thing about getting licenses in Singapore and regulations, you know what you need.
Yeah.
A lot of other countries, it's not like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, you just have to figure it out when they tell you that you don't have it.
I mean, it is true that sometimes you feel a bit like troublesome and all that, but there's a purpose in getting those
Okay,
licenses.
let me tell you the truth. Do you know that you don't need any license to actually host a fight event?
A fight event, there are no licenses.
No.
So the licenses come from things like drinks and
But your venue,
refreshments and all
your
that.
your
It's
venue
your
will
own venue.
typically take care of that.
Yeah.
But, right? So, like, if you book a venue, then, like, all the licensing for the booze and all that sort of stuff. And
So
then
for the fight stuff, no.
no, but for the fights, you, like, getting it sanctioned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sanction is
So
one
sanctioning,
thing.
correct,
Yeah,
right? So
right.
there's the events side of it.
Yeah.
Depending on where you are. Like, for instance, when we do events in Dubai, you have to get different events licenses and stuff like that. Over here, as Zul said, you know, you don't need anything like that.
So it's the other stuff that's going on.
Yeah, and then, you know, but also, as far as sanctioning the bouts go, and working with the Singapore Boxing Federation,
Yep.
we do that because that's good practice, right?
course,
you
of
want
course.
you want safety, right? And especially when it comes to, like, white collar,
Yeah.
right? These are people who aren't typically boxers,
Right.
Right? I mean, we want to ensure the safety of all boxers, right? But when you're talking about typically corporate people who have signed up for an experience,
Yeah.
right? You want to make sure that safety is, like, your
Priority.
top
Safety,
priority, right?
legitimacy, everything. Just
Correct.
making sure you're on
Correct.
top.
Correct.
You're on top of everything.
Correct, because I would love to say that Zul and I were the geniuses that invented white collar boxing, but
Honestly,
we're not,
white collar,
right?
I could.
No, we didn't invent it.
I
So
don't- But till this day, I believe the both of you are two of the biggest white collar events that are out in Singapore right now.
we are here. We are here. Yeah, we are here.
You can look it as all you want. Like, I know it's completely fine being humble. It's humble, but it's true when other people say it. Like, when people think of boxing, there are only a few gyms that come to mind straight away in terms of the level of what these events are, right? And I just want to give you your flowers. Thank you for those events.
Actually, it doesn't start from us. Actually, we got to give props to
Okay.
To
the
Vanda.
vendor.
Yeah,
exactly.
correct,
We got to
correct.
give props. They are the ones who paved the white collar boxing scene, and they've been doing for the longest time.
So I want to know more about what does a sanctioned match? What does that mean? Like to get it like saying on record?
On
Is that
record.
what it means?
Yes, that means it's on record.
Yeah.
Right.
So, well, it depends. It depends what we're talking about. If you're talking about white collar boxing, sanctioning it just means that you get the local boxing federation to oversee the event. Right?
Okay.
That's not sanctioned. It's having the federation involved.
But it's having the governing body
Involved.
involved
Correct.
in this.
You know,
But
oversee in terms of safety rules. and
right,
everything.
then if you have professional fighters like
Then the other
that's
government.
on a couple on your events also on the card for you,
Yeah.
we had a couple of pro fights in there. I
Correct.
remember I had the honor of announcing a WBC title fight.
Yeah.
Thank you, as an announcer. Okay, get to announce a world title fight. Oh, sorry. But yeah. So what happens then for the sanctioning? You just also approach SBF.
No, so there is a Singapore Boxing Commission as
Yeah.
well. So we have to approach Singapore Boxing Commission,
Uh-huh.
and then they will work together with WBC,
Oh,
so
okay.
World Boxing Council.
Right.
So Singapore Boxing Commission is the one who sanctions the whole event.
But-
Okay.
And also, it's like just to add on what he said about the for the white collar. So Singapore Boxing Federation, yes, they sanction to oversee the whole event in terms of safety, but at the same time, they are recorded as well. So these guys are like, say for example, right? I'm a corporate boxer, right? So the thing
I
is
like that corporate boxer.
Yeah.
9 to 5. A bunch of
So the thing is that like people won't believe me, right?
Yeah.
I'm a banker. People won't believe me. But
Right.
when people are talking about things like sports, like martial arts, I box.
Like-
Then I could
Yeah.
tell you that, hey, see, I got one sanction.
Yeah,
fight.
so
You get me?
like from what I understand, boxing in Japan also, I don't know what they have it in Singapore. When you become a pro boxer, they
You
give
get
you
a
a license.
License.
You have like your driving license.
That's the
kind of-
thing I was about to say, right? Like
Yeah.
we're talking specifically about Singapore.
Yeah.
But the thing about boxing globally, right?
Right.
This is a real sort of, this is probably the main criticism of boxing
boxing.
globally.
Sure.
There's so many different boxing bodies, sanctioning bodies, right? So
I
you got the
see.
main ones, which is WBC, WBA, IBO, the IBF, right? They're the WBL,
the
as well,
main-
right?
there's the main,
They're
the
your
four.
main sanctioning bodies,
Right.
Right? And then on top of the sanctioning bodies, depending on where you fight, there's a different athletic commission,
Yeah.
right? And so, boxing is everybody just kind of clipping the ticket
So
along
in Chinese,
the way, right?
in Chinese kung fu, it's like so many different sects and different like
Yeah, yeah,
branches
yeah,
of
yeah.
the same Wing Chun or whatever.
Yeah,
like-
exactly. And so that's like one of the things with professional boxing.
right.
I think we're having a real golden era of professional boxing at the moment.
That's awesome.
But that's got a lot to do with the Saudis now coming in with His
season.
Excellency Turki Al Sheikh.
That's true. There's a
who's
lot of
putting on
action happening
the
there.
big
Yeah,
fights.
yeah.
But you see that like anything, right? Whatever's going on in the big leagues,
Yeah.
it always filters down to sort of local grassroots stuff. So
Of
even
course,
that,
it has to start somewhere.
even the idea of rifts between sanctioning bodies and commissions and all of this sort of stuff, you see
Right.
it varying different degrees.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool, cool.
Because the problem in Singapore as well, because it's different, right? In Southeast Asia especially, Yes, Japan. To get into that pro scene is not easy. You
Oh
need
my
to
gosh,
go
no.
through
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
exams,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. You need to have like at least like 10 fights, 15 fights.
Like
then
people
you
will
can
be
go.
out there just doing this
Exactly,
as you're in the
yeah.
ring going
But
through.
in Singapore, it's lucky, we don't have that kind of thing, which
That's
actually
consistent.
anybody could become a professional boxer.
Right, right.
It's like same like if you're like Jake
So
Paul or whatever.
now's a good time if you want to.
Yeah, but that is also, that's the case almost
Yeah.
everywhere, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's
most,
everywhere.
But how exactly?
What do you mean, like how?
Like the steps of their journey being a pro boxer. So they join the gym
Yeah.
and then they train and have a couple fights
I
and then
think
they
that
ask you, "I
is-
want to register."
I think that's a whole another story. It
Yeah, that's
depends on
correct.
because right now what you have in Singapore or wherever it is, you have a lot of old school coaches where they still believe in 100 punches. They still believe in
Damn.
Yeah, it's true. But some of them are starting to believe in a new scientific model of training.
I mean, it's one of those things: old school versus
Correct,
new school.
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
So some coaches they just want to keep their students in the closet.
Mm.
They just put him to amateur fights, but still they don't want to lose them. You get what I mean?
Right, right.
But some people, but nowadays, some of them are just going into professional
Right,
boxing
right.
because they feel that down there they might make a bit of money. But in Southeast
I mean,
Asia,
professional. It's a living.
oh yeah, but it's not. It's not.
It's not. It's not an easy living. I'm not saying
but,
that.
But again,
Come
again, to correct it, this is like one of the things that I hear all the time is not a correction, I should say, but maybe like a misperception. My wife's a pro boxer,
Yeah.
and there's obviously a bunch of people here who are pro boxers, and I guess one of the things in Singapore that often gets said is, "Oh, you can't make any money as a pro boxer,
no, we get
or
that.
you can't make any money as an athlete."
Yeah.
But one of the things that I always say to any of my guys is, I'm like, you do realize that that's not a Singapore specific problem, right? Like
All over the world.
any artist, any athlete,
Yeah.
no matter where you look around
Yeah.
the world, right? It's the masses that struggle to like really make it, and that's what makes the elite so elite, right?
Yeah.
When you get
Because
to the
we're
1%,
at the cream of the crop. They have to climb all the way up.
You got to climb, and it's
Yeah.
hard, right?
Oh.
And I guess one of the things that we see a lot is that there's always this point where, and this is not just with fighting, this is with business, this is with anything, right? You so often see people who are like right at that point where they're about to jump over the top of the mountain, right? They're just about there, and then that's the time they stop.
Right.
Right.
You're like,
and
oh,
it's
no.
like, no, you just gotta
so
just keep
close.
going, just a bit more,
Yeah.
right? And so, like, you kind of see that along. But again, it's not a Singapore specific problem. I think it's especially for arts and sport.
Oh yeah, you're telling
Right.
me. Yeah.
you would know. Like,
you
we've
need
touched
to-
we've touched the sort. We're all nerve there.
You just need to go a bit further, I guess,
Yeah.
in terms of like professional boxers who just want to earn that as a living as a professional boxer. You need to go a bit more. You need to grind.
No,
a
you
bit
gotta,
more
you
harder.
gotta. It's a common trope
It's
for.
not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy for us as promoters who actually want to organize just one pro boxing fight, say a 4-rounder. It cost me 5,000 USD. And who's gonna pay for that?
No,
5,000
absolutely. Like,
USD?
yeah, it's
You know,
it's
all
a real
these
thing.
You know, all these boxers will come to me, I'm gonna give you a good show. I'm gonna give you this, but
You gotta look at the numbers.
Who's gonna sell the ticket?
No,
Yeah.
fair enough, fair
You know
enough,
what I
fair
mean?
enough.
You get
And that's
what I
why,
mean?
like,
So-
I'm not trying to put it on the same context as the microphone. I'm too strong. The mic is strong. Sorry, let me tighten it. Okay, I'm good now. Okay, so on that note, I want to say also, I'm not trying to put it in the same kind of world, but like in pro wrestling as well.
Yeah.
Everybody
true,
also
it's
wants to be.
true,
They see the
it's
glitz
true.
and glamour of things like
Yeah.
WWE. The only thing, I'm gonna be a superstar and all that. You don't know. In every sport, no matter what the sport is, you got to pay your dues.
Correct.
Right?
100%.
You got to go through this stage, that stage, and all that. And speaking of fighters in that respect, right? I want to ask from the two of you, what are your picks of any promising boxers that we should keep an eye out for, and if we can find them online or anywhere?
In Singapore,
In Singapore,
specifically?
starting from where you guys are.
All right. I mean, I'm biased.
Couple of names. I know
I'm
you are.
completely biased. I mean, my wife,
Check out
Ifasha.
Fasha.
Right. So she's actually we have a 6-month-old little girl, and
Oh,
she's
congratulations.
in training camp to make a comeback fight. So which is
Right,
pretty wild.
so right after.
Yeah,
Damn, that's
yes.
impressive.
So we're aiming for March of this year, hopefully March or April. So she's in camp right now. I mean, the other ones for me are always in the amateurs, Valvin Tan.
See, I'm trying to get him and
Right.
all three
Yeah.
brothers to come down on the
Yeah,
show.
Valvin, Valco, Vernon.
Yeah, I
like,
want to
you
get
know,
all the VT bros in one shot. I don't think any show's
Absolutely.
done that yet.
Yeah.
All three in the show.
great boxers. Danisha, of course.
Of course, Danisha.
You know, probably the most decorated female amateur now out of the country. They'd probably be the ones that come to mind straight away for me. But I think probably the thing that you can look out for, which is very refreshing, is the, you know, like I'm 10 years into having boxing gyms here in Singapore.
Yeah.
And like the participation now, and I'm not just talking about members, I'm talking about fighters.
Yeah.
The participation now is just so much bigger.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know, like if you go to nationals now, nationals is over the course of a few days, and they have, you know, I don't know how many bouts now. It's probably like 30 or 40 bouts. So
quite a
like
turnout.
even like when there's a whole bunch of fighters that you could think of. Like if you look at the development categories that the last nationals that were on like a month or so ago, the boxers that are coming through are phenomenal, and the depth of the talent is the best that I've seen it in the entire time I've been here.
Cool. Something to catch.
Yeah.
You really check out the nationals.
Yeah.
You got a few names. Do you have a few names?
I agree with him, the three brothers and everything. So if you talk about like, it's like, but they are slightly more experienced.
Right,
But I want to see some.
You
new
want to catch somebody at the raw.
Yeah, but I don't know their names, but I see from gyms. For me, I don't actually look at the individual until they actually really like turn
Make
up
a
like
name.
Danisha.
Yeah.
You know, Danisha is a very decorated boxer, and she is, I think she deserves more than what she deserves right now, to be honest. For me, I think there's a few, want to mention from Spartans, there's a few boxers that I like. Ringside Fitness, there's a few boxers that I like, and also Fox Gloves.
Yeah.
Okay,
These guys, they actually are like proper fight gyms, which they actually send their fighters to, to actually fight overseas as well.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. So I'll keep a lookout for these couple of gyms, and hopefully down the line
like
we're gonna see these people like pop up.
I like them who are more aggressive to the kids.
Yeah.
They are aggressive to the kids. Not like the kids. Like, you need to have like a bit more discipline. Like,
Right.
This is a fight sport. You need to bang your head in the wall.
Right.
I'm not gonna be like, hello, you should punch like this. You know. But they do.
No. It's everyone has their own management style, but obviously when you want to find the ones that are, I don't want to use the word hardcore, but hard enough. Like they've gone through some times, they've learned, and they've disciplined themselves to the sport. They've dedicated themselves, devoted to the sport.
Yeah.
Then you have these people that like what we just spoke about, climbing to the top.
Yeah.
Right. I want to take you back again to a boxing event. Okay, we've mentioned a few just now, but I want to know like, if I'm going to make a boxing event, what are the key regulations and safety measures that I need to think about? So we already talked about the sanctioning, right, with SBF. Is there anything else like you think of? Like, is there a mind map, a process when you think about, we're going to have this show? How are we going to have the show? What is the plan to executing?
So in your FOP, field of play. So in your FOP is field of play. So you need to follow whether you want to do your sanctioning. You need to follow the plan, or the floor plan. That means you need to put where your jurors are. You need to put where your medic is. You need to where your announcers are.
Is there a specific way to put the medic?
There
or?
is a specific way to put a medic. You need to know where the doctor should be, where the medic should be. So usually in a pro setting, right?
Okay.
Say for example in Vegas or something, you wouldn't see chairs at the side of the ring.
Right.
You only see the judges standing by the side, the people scribbling. And you don't see the doctor anywhere because of TV.
Right.
So they don't want to do that. But if you follow an amateur style, so the doctor needs to be, say for example, he's the supervisor, right? And there's another referee, and then there's the doctor.
Okay.
So, but the medic is at the back.
Right. So there's a difference between medic and doctor. So medics like first response, doctors checking on the spot.
There is a difference between it's an amateur event, then you have to follow the field of play, the whole agenda, or you are doing a professional event. Then it will be different. You could actually mix it around.
Oh.
But the most safety is that you need a doctor and a paramedic, and then the sanctioning body. That's the most you need.
And I think, I agree with everything. I think for the event itself, for the entertainment value of the event,
right,
but also the safety of the event, the matchmaking is key, right? So the
of
lead
course,
up to it,
course,
right? And I think that sometimes often gets overlooked, right? That's I think anybody that's been to an event where the matchmaking is great, they leave just so much more satisfied.
Yeah, in
with
wrestling,
what
we have somebody called a booker.
All right.
In pro wrestling to know, like, okay, we got this person versus this person. There's a storyline here.
Yeah, right.
And we know that this wrestler is a draw. You gotta put him on the show.
Yeah,
and
right.
People will come to the show.
right?
Yeah.
We should get bookers into into the boxing.
Probably
scene.
the
But
Booker
usually-
T, bro.
the promoters are the heads are the bookers themselves.
Right.
So
yeah.
you guys
similar to us.
Yeah,
if you have a
yeah,
matchmaker,
so
even in
I'm
boxing.
the matchmaker, I'm the promoter.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
so-
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you decide like, okay, who you think is going to be a good fit,
Correct.
big draw, like
And it's-
you know who to place for main event.
There's an art to it. There's an
Yeah,
art
yeah,
to
there is,
matchmaking,
there is.
right?
man,
It's really crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get the most hardest for me when you want to do matchmaking, right, is the height. That's the worst for me. So people will always ask, like boxers, right? They will ask for height, weight, experience.
Right.
So I could be 100 kg, but I'm only like 1.7. But that's 100 kg is actually 1.9.
We're not, yeah. Oh, I'm right here.
You get what I mean?
We have a match. All right.
Example.
No,
no?
but on that note, right? I think that is a very fair point. Like we've seen people watching fights go, "He's got 100 kg, man."
Yeah.
Like you know, like because it's smaller and all.
But that's also a wish list,
yeah.
right? Like I mean,
Of course. But sometimes I let it go because I need to know the experience of this boy. He could actually say one of the events that I did is between one of these guys called one from KOS and one from the ring. So from KOS, I think his name is, if I can remember, is Titan something. He's only about almost 175, and
Right.
this Will is 1.8 or 1.9.
Sure.
I think you know that fight, right?
yeah, okay.
So and this guy actually giving
Yeah.
him a lot of problems.
Oh, it's
bro.
it's the one that
I mean,
kept
that's
going
a
along. It was a
bit-
very Hajime no Ippo episode. You know, Ippo was just trying to like dance
Yeah.
through. Yeah, I've
You know?
seen that match.
And
You're right. You're right.
That makes it exciting.
It does.
yeah.
It
You know what I
does.
mean?
Yeah. No, look. I can go about this conversation all day. Okay, you have no idea. Like we could talk about this for hours about the fight sport and all that. But I gotta cut it right now. I do want to say to you though.
fast.
Yeah, right. It's so quick. But I want to say right now. I want you to look at your cameras. Right, you got 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
Just tell us what you got going on. What's new? What is there something that we can look forward to come and check you guys out at your next event?
All right. Awesome. So
And where can we find you online as well?
All right. So our event schedule this year is we've got a white collar event May 9th, Orchid Country Club, Singapore. We've got a white collar event in Dubai, May 31st, JW Marriott. We're looking to put one on in Philippines in September, October. And then we're back to Singapore again, October 17th. And then back to Dubai again for December. So that's
Ooh,
5
pretty
for this year. So it's pretty packed.
yeah.
And also just opening gyms around the region. So we're going to our 6th country this year into Vietnam.
You
Keep opening
Sparta,
gyms.
you. Oh my God, are you not entertained again?
All right, that's what we. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to open a gym or get involved in a boxing event or sponsor an event, we didn't talk about that part. Russ at SpartansBoxing.com.
There you go. Zul, what you got? What you got
Called
for
a
the ring?
shameless plug, my man.
Just do it. It's fine.
You can find us at the Ring White Collar Boxing Show if you want to see a show. The next show will be on the 10th of April, MBS Marquee Nightclub. Hopefully coming up. This might be a surprise for you. Hopefully in June will be in Monaco. Then after that, coming again in November, another one in Marquee Nightclub as well.
So Shawnrick and I will take
So
the
it's
IP
okay.
tickets.
So-
to the, we're okay with that, right?
We're gonna. Well, I'll see you there, man.
Hopefully it comes through, but I think it's gonna come through since
Nice.
Rudy is already back. So
Hey, congratulations.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
yeah, I think we're gonna do somewhere in the casino or something.
Yo, it's gonna be fun.
Wow.
It's gonna be fun. The
Like I
world
said,
of boxing
the
is.
grandeur.
Yeah, all right. We're just getting started, man. Just getting started.
Yeah, just getting started. I think 2025 is a bit. It's gonna be busy for the white collar boxing scene.
Yeah,
as
Yeah.
well.
definitely.
So
That's amazing.
Something cooking up as well. We're trying to cook up something as well.
Hey,
the both of us. So
hey. I love to eat.
hopefully we go through after tomorrow we meet.
Thank you guys so much for being on the show. Thank
Awesome.
you. I can't wait to talk like more boxing with you another time again.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us, man.
Anytime,
Appreciate it.
man.
Hey, Spartans Boxing Club, The Ring, both having white collar boxing shows, and you heard it here first on round one.